So it's about a human that is that has a very short stature, and he has some artifacts to sell at the market. So while he was selling, people thought he was a dwarf because of his short stature. And he also saw a man with a big belly that dressed really luxurious and has a throne himself, and he thinks he's very rich, which is true. And the man wanted to be entertained, so he asked people to perform some really impossible acrobat move, and he would reward them a very huge amount of reward. Even though Gimli couldn't perform any acrobatic move, he wanted to try, and so he observed other people doing the acrobatic move and learned to do some. Because of the presence of other contestants, he was really pumped up and was able to perform really well at the beginning. But at one point, he was careless and fell into the pit and blamed others for his failure. So for the first concept is stereotype. Stereotype is where we assume a group of people shares a common features. For example, like all Chinese people have small eyes, which is a stereotype. In this comic, we apply stereotype at this panel where people thought Gimli is a dwarf, but actually he's just a very short human that likes to dress as a dwarf, almost like a dwarf like that. So yeah, so it's like a stereotype where people thought he's a dwarf. And I will pass to Barbara.
So for the second concept, which is first impression, what is first impression? In psychology, a first impression is the event when one person first encounters another person and form a better image of the person. For example, physical appearance, accent, posture are the characteristic of how the impression are formed. So in this comic, the moment when Gimli saw the big belly guy, and he assumed that the big belly guy is a rich guy. Why? Because the big belly guy is wearing nice clothes as well as he's sitting on the throne. Therefore, first impression accuracy varies depending on the observer, which is Gimli, as well as the target, which is the big belly guy being observed. Now pass it to Brian for next concept.
So the third concept is observational learning. So in terms of psychology, observational learning defined as watching others engage in other behaviors and then repeating those actions. So in this comic, Gimli was never exposed to acrobatics, but through careful observation of other competitors doing it repeatedly, he could pick up some basics in such a period of short time. So now I'd like to pass to Al.
Hi, the concept for social facilitation is explained that when a person is performing tasks in a group, but yet his individual contributions can be identified. In our comic, the concept of social facilitation is emphasized by showing Gimli. He previously does not know any skills, but he observed, and in the presence of others, he improved his skill a lot. And so, yeah, he's also threatened by others, competitors, on the prize. So, yeah, he's motivated to perform better than usual. And it is explained that in this situation, Gimli received this motivation because of the atmosphere of evaluation by the presence of the professionals. Yes.
So the fifth concept is actually social facilitation. The definition of social facilitation is that we tend to take credit for success, but we don't take responsibility for failures. So through our comic, Gimli at first he blazed through the course smoothly. However, he was careless and then he fell into a pit. After he fell into a pit, he was angry and then he blamed the surroundings and the people around for not telling him that it was dangerous for him to go through the course. As such, Gimli he experienced self-serving attribution because he made external attributions for negative outcomes. But then he said that actually, if he were given a chance, he would do 3 times better if he would train harder. Therefore, he did not admit his mistake when he fails because he still assumed that he can do very well. That means he's making internal attributions for positive outcomes. And therefore, we end our presentation. Thank you very much.